comes to dating, there are 4 main red flags that you need to keep an eye out for. They come across very subtly at first, and they gradually begin to increase. That's how the abuser hooks you in. Out of every abusive relationship that I entered in, these red flags were definitely there, but I did not pay attention to them because I had on my rose-colored glasses. And red flags look like another shade of pink when you've got those glasses on. So today, I'm going to be showing you the top 4 red flags. Number 1, gaslighting. This is where they will manipulate you into thinking that the reality that you see ain't actually reality. Are you serious right now? I never even did that. While this does apply to physical things and making you feel like you're actively crazy with things that are right in front of you, this can also happen with things that are not quite as in your face and are much more subtle. Saying things like, "Oh my God, you are so lucky I put up with you." Or, "Seriously, we wouldn't have half these problems if you weren't so emotional and oversensitive." Or, "Oh my God, it's not like I hit you." Basically telling you that your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions aren't valid and they don't matter. If anyone tries to tell you that the way you respond to something is wrong or that your feelings are wrong, you're being gaslit, my friend. Number 2, mocking. Are you kidding me? That is so out of your league. This is something that my boyfriend when I was 17 did a lot. I told him that I wanted to run cross country. He told me I was too fat. Look, baby, I love you, but you just can't do that. I got upset with him, and then he rolled his eyes and said, "Hey, it's nothing against you, you're just not the athletic type." And then I went on to run cross country the whole next year despite a whole lot of difficult challenges. But anyone who tells you that you can't achieve your dreams or tells you that you're wrong for achieving them is not someone that you want in your life. This is especially so even if they're not mocking your dreams and your goals. If they're mocking your mannerisms or trying to tear you down, especially in front of others, this is a sign that they are doing their best to take away your self-worth, take away your self-confidence, so that way they can make you smaller and they can tower above you. Yeah, okay. This is the sign that it's time to go. Number 3, they don't respect your boundaries. Hello? Yeah, where are you? I told you I was hanging out with my friends today. This is a really big deal to me because once I learned how to set boundaries, once I learned how to communicate my boundaries, I realized just how few people actually respected me. But especially so in just about every relationship that I was in. Oh my God, it's not that big of a deal. Why won't you just do it? This really came to a head about 1.5 years ago when I was in a situation where someone was not respecting my boundary. And then they kept aggressively getting angrier and their voice got louder and they chose purposely not to respect it. It was at that point that I left and I haven't turned back. That person is no longer a part of my life because I learned that if you don't respect my boundaries, you don't respect me. Look, I get it. You just don't love me enough. Regardless of how big or small you think the boundary is, if you are allowing someone to come in on your boundary and not respect your boundary, but you still let them stay in your life, you are communicating to them that your boundaries don't matter and they don't have to respect you. It also does weed out the people that genuinely don't care about you and makes room for people who do. And boo, if they're not respecting your boundaries, that's not safe. I don't care what boundaries or how big or small or important or unimportant they've convinced you that it is. If they're not respecting your boundary or if they're trying to talk you out of your boundary, oh my God, can't you just get over it? It's time to go. And finally, physical threats. While this may seem obvious, if they're gonna physically try to hurt you, you shouldn't be there. It always starts out small and gradually gets more extreme. Just like when you put a frog in boiling water, you slowly turn up the heat. So by the time he realizes that he's getting cooked, it's too late because he was comfortable the whole time. As a vegan, I really hate that analogy, but I really hope you get what I mean. But this starts out small and gradually escalates. I remember the very first time that my first physically abusive relationship, my boyfriend when I was 17, it started with him aggressively punching the couch on the other side of the room. I told myself that because it was the other side of the room, it was okay. But then it reached a point where he punched the couch right next to me. And then he punched the wall right next to my head. And then he threw a pillow at me. And it eventually escalated to very physical violence. But it started out small and gradually grew. So I kept justifying and justifying and justifying. If there is any sign, any little bit that you may feel like they are being physically violent, it's time to get out of the relationship. I don't care what excuse they give. I don't care if they want to change or they're going to get better or they're going to whatever. You need to get out. Knowing these things really, really well and getting very clear on them are going to help you on your journey to finally find the person who is worthy of your energy. And just remember, if you communicate anything that makes you feel uncomfortable and their response is a rebuttal or reasons why you shouldn't feel that way, they're gaslighting you, they do not respect you, and it's time to get out. If you have any questions or if there are red flags that you have noticed, I would love for you to drop them into the comments so we can open up the dialogue and have this conversation. Before you leave, make sure you check out this video right here because it's going to help you as you continue on your abuse recovery journey. Thanks so much for hanging out, boo, and we'll talk soon.